good stuff. Let me go ahead and do that. All right, so check it out. Right, read the need, then lead. Read the need, then lead. Right, good leaders follow this path in difficult situations. Right, so if you're going through a difficult situation or anything like that, this is something that can go ahead and help you. Right, so they aren't afraid to admit they need to listen and get understanding. They read, they read, they evaluate what has happened and what steps are best to take. Let me read that again. They read, right? Meaning something they read. They evaluate what has happened. So they're evaluating what's happened, right? And what steps are best to take. Just pause for a minute, just really just think about it, just really just have understanding of what's going on, because these are the things that's going to make up a leader, and these are the things that the leaders follow, right? Good leaders follow this in difficult situations, right? So they feed, right? They feed. They communicate what they observe to key players. They communicate what they observe to key players, right? So maybe they might go to somebody who's in a position that they're in right now, and they're saying, yo, what I realize is this, or some things that I picked up that, certain individuals moving at this frequency is moving like this. Certain people that's moving with this type of spirit, certain people that's moving with this type of work ethic. And it's like they feed. So they communicate what they observe to key players, right? The last two is the head and the lead, right? The head and the lead. The head is they act on the basis of their discovery, even if it means change. Even if it means change. They act on the basis of their discovery, even if it means change, right? And the last one, they lead. They provide direction to those involved. They provide directions to those involved, right? So, that was the John C. Maxwell leadership promises. And just to wrap you guys up, so that we know that we're transitioning to something new, right? I want to talk to you about the new beginnings that's coming up, right? The new beginnings and how to actually get ready for them, how to actually go ahead and prepare for them. The first place that you need to do before you start to get into that huge transition or that momentum that you're looking to have, or the new beginnings, or the new things that you want to just happen in your life, new transitions, new better things, new everything, right? Is you have to get to a place of understanding first. I got to understand where I'm at. Where am I right now in my growth journey, right? I have to get to that first place of awareness, right? I have to get to that place of awareness. And a lot of people talked about awareness as we had the testimonials come up, right? It was awareness of certain things that they know they had to do. It was certain things that they had to pivot. It was certain things they had perspective of. It's a certain things they noticed that they wasn't doing. It was certain things that they noticed they was getting comfortable, right? So you have to get to that place of awareness, guys, right? And that place of awareness is more or less like, where are you, right? When you walk into a mall, right? When you walk into a mall, every mall has like a map. Every mall has a map, and there's like a red dot, and it says you are right here. So when you get to that ultimate awareness, when you have that understanding, you know that, okay, I'm right here. And if I want to go to the Dior store, if I want to go to the Louis store, there's usually like two ways you can go there. It's either a longer way or a shortcut. It's either a longer way or a shortcut. And then there's certain times where there's a certain place where there is no shortcut, there is no longer way. It's just, that's the path, right? So we got to get to that place of awareness, of understanding, before we actually experience that transition of what we want in new beginnings, right? The new things that we want, the new success stories, the new growth, the new assets, the new things that you're growing, the new money that's going into your bank account, the new growth in your habits, all those things, right? But you got to ask yourself, what am I doing right now right? Because these are the questions you want to ask yourself. What am I doing right now? And what results am I actually looking for? See, when you can identify the exact result that you want, we can literally sit down on a coaching call, a mentorship call, and we can take notes and we can jot down and we can list every single thing that we need to do to get that type of result. If you need to earn an extra $500, we can list off how many ways do I know how to make $500? Okay, my job. Okay, this. Okay, that. Okay, this. Okay, that. Like, what can I do? Or better yet, not just learning how to go ahead and make $500. How can I save $500? How can I save? Right? So I got to know, what am I doing right now to go get the results that I want? And then what can I do better? Because yeah, we could list out what we're not doing, but what we're not doing is not a focus on where you want to put your attention at. The first focus is of awareness is like, I need to know, what am I doing right now and that's working, but also what results do I actually want to get based off what I'm doing right now? And then the next thing is, how can I get better? Evaluate, what are you doing right now? How can I get better? Can I communicate more? Can I listen to more personal development? Can I seek more growth? Can I communicate with, some of my coaches, some of my mentors? Can I ask, can they recommend something for me? Hey, this is the situation. Can I go to my mentor or my coach with a positive, right? With a positive, but also the perspective of like, I'm going through something, but I'm going to tell you as positive as possible. Right. And that's a skill. That's a skill to work on. Like, okay, I remember somebody texted me, it was about 3 weeks ago. And somebody texted me and they said, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. This is happening. And I said, okay, cool. Can you copy and paste that, right? I want you to copy that message. And then I want you to rewrite it in the most positive way that you can do it and then send it to me. And they did it. And the message was completely different from the first message. That was something that I was able to identify right away. I was able to go ahead and just give them coaching through a text message. I didn't have to get on the phone for that. I didn't have to get on the phone with that. And then he said, okay, listen, C. John, like, yeah, I didn't even realize how negative I was being. I didn't even realize. It's just simple tweaking and pivoting with the thinking. That's all. Right. The next step, to really just going into that new beginnings, I got to decide, right? I have to make the decision, right? Who am I going to actually listen to? What am I going to, what am I going to submit to? Am I going to be teachable and coachable? Guys, I told you, I said, I'm listening to Jim Rohn. I'm listening to John C. Maxwell's. There's only certain voices that I'm listening to. Like I've already identified just a couple of voices that I will listen to. I can't listen to anything else. So somebody might say, yo, listen to this, such and such. And I'm like, during this season, I'll throw that in a vault and I'll come back. But during this season, I know exactly what I'm listening to. I've wrote down the list of individuals of voices that I'm going to be listening to. I already wrote it down. I can't throw in too much, even though it might sound good. I can't throw in too much, even though it may be good. But I got to stand firm and be disciplined on the voices that I'm listening to, because I know the results that I want to get. Right? The next thing is, as I'm going into my transition for the new beginning, is I got to accept that this gratitude that I'm using, I'm already grateful for right now what I got, but I'm also grateful for what I'm about to go ahead and encounter in the future. And when that gratefulness is so strong, right? When your gratitude is so strong for the thing that you want, that you're so grateful that you have it already, it's already yours. It's already yours. Because a lot of people think success comes from the hard work. It first starts in the spiritual, and then whatever you want it manifests in the physical. But it first starts with the spiritual. It first starts with me creating. It first starts with me writing it down. It first starts with me imagining what's actually happening for me. These are things that people don't tell you about. They just tell you, oh, you got to work hard. Or those guys probably worked really hard to get where they're at. Yes, we're not going to discount the hard work that they did, but we do know it came with a certain amount of thinking. It came with a certain thought process. It came with certain habits. It came with certain faith. It came with certain belief that they could obtain the things that they wanted. It comes with those things. But it's just an understanding of actually what's actually going on. Everything starts on the spiritual side. 90% of success is spiritual. So, and you feel like, oh, I got to go do hard work. Yes, you have to do hard work. But if you have not yet got the spiritual side on lock, you still have to work just as hard as you do the physical work, just as much as you do the spiritual work. The spiritual work is, has my language changed yet? Has my words changed yet? What words am I saying? Am I saying the word try? And I'm just giving you examples. Am I saying the word try? Am I saying the word can't? Am I saying the word, this is just how I am? Am I saying the words this, that? Like, you guys got to understand, you got to have an understanding of what words, right? Because these words are seeds. What words am I planting? What words am I speaking? Because I can tell you, based off what you've been speaking, or based off conversations you've been having in private, could be a result of why the outcome looks the way it does today for you. So we got to switch it up. Words, my emotions. A lot of people don't know that. My spiritual side, what type of emotions am I? Because the emotions that I'm encountering right now, whether you want to hide it, whether you want to bury it, guys, you got to get that emotion to being grateful. You got to get that emotion of joy. You got to get that emotion of my faith is this strong. I got to get to that emotion of peace. Like, if you don't get to that level of peace, joy, gratitude, you can't necessarily manifest the things that you want, because you're not in a state. Guys, you can't get something if you're not in that alignment to get what you want. It's certain principles that need to be in place for you to receive what you want. There's nobody that's super mad or somebody who's like, struggling. It doesn't work like that. You have to be in a state of gratitude. You have to be in a state of peace. You have to be in a state of belief. You have to be in a state of faith. I got to know that all things are working for me. All things are working for me. And then you start to get the physical work where it's, I work, I do more work. I do more work. And I'm doing the work because I'm in the state of everything is working out for me in my favor. I'm in the state of words. The words that I'm speaking is going to get me to where I need to go. The affirmations is working. Guys, affirmation, when you start doing these affirmations and you're not doing no work, you will rob yourself of the result that you actually really want. You will rob yourself, right? So there's certain states that you got to understand, as I conclude this call, is four states of like really just understanding when you need to change. Number one is the unconscious incompetent. And we all know this. This is something I believe Mav went over before, but I'll just refresh your mind and go through it a little bit quicker. But the unconscious incompetence, I don't know what I don't know. And most people get in that state where, you tell the person, hey, I got a business idea, with this, it's going to be involving in tech. Okay, cool. Now the person's like, nah, I don't really believe in that. Nah, you go ahead and do your thing. And it's like, they don't know what they don't know. They don't see the vision that you have. So it's cool. Like, unconscious incompetent, and everybody starts there in anything that they do. They don't know what they don't know. You probably passed over plenty of opportunities that people brought to you, and you just said, nah, that's not for me. But the open-minded person should always hear out at least something. If you feel it in your spirit, fill it out. Right? But that's a dangerous place to be, but it's where everybody starts. Right? Then you got the conscious incompetence, right? This is a person that's just like, yo, I want to learn. Like I'm not yet there, but I know I want to learn. I know I want to learn. Right. And I'll speed through it. Right. And then you got the conscious competent. Right. You know exactly what you have to do. So you do it over and over and over. You do it over and over and over. So you get to a place of mastery. And that last one is mastery. I need to do it over and over and over till I get to a place of mastery. When I'm doing it over and over and over, that's called repetition. I don't want you to think of the perspective of like, Doc, I have to do it over and over and over, and there's no ending. It's not just ending, is I want to get to a level of mastery. I want to get to a place where I can do it, where I'm at the unconscious competent, which is the last exact one where I don't have to think. It's like breathing right now. Like you don't have to think to breathe right now. What if you can get to that place where like you don't even have to think and just value just comes out your mouth? You don't even have to read a book really quick, but value just comes out of your mouth. It's just having understanding, guys. And I'll give you a story real quick just to kind of end you guys, right? In terms of, you know, what's actually going on, you know, with just giving you guys perspective. I think, you know, that's very, very key, you know, to have perspective going into, you know, a new beginning, you know. And I think a lot of people don't understand, you know, the transitional side, you know, and the transaction side when you're getting through some things, right? So you know, real quick, you know, before we go into that, I want you to know that the thing that you want, you actually do not need physical evidence to get to where you want to get to. You don't need physical evidence. You just need to have faith and belief that you can actually get there. But if I can actually hear the thing that I want over and over and over, and I could hear it over and over and over, guys, I was literally I was watching a video of a baseball player who literally, he's a college baseball player, and he literally made a key. He made a key to get into the batting cages that they have so he can get extra practice. Guys, you talk about determination. You talk about being in an environment over and over. You talking about his friends was telling him, hey, you want to go to the cages? And he was like, I'm already there. And it was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. But I just thought I'd call. Guys, don't just go through the process. You got to grow through the process. The person who, let's check this out. I'll leave you with this and we're done. The person who loves walking versus the person who just want to get to the destination, you got to ask yourself, which one is actually going to enjoy the process a lot more? The person who loves walking versus the person who got to the destination, who only cares about the destination. You know, so that's very, very key, guys. So I appreciate you guys.